Hi students, now let's start our new chapter, chapter 9, list, tuples, sets and dictionary. Python programming language has 4 collection of data types such as list, tuples, set and dictionary. In this session, you are going to learn about list. Okay, so what do you mean by list? It is an ordered collection of values enclosed within square brackets, which means the sequence of elements are enclosed within square brackets and separated by commas. So this list is also known as sequence data type. Okay. In a list, you can add any type of values. It may be numbers, it may be characters, it may be strings, and you can add nested list also. Okay. And the second point, the elements can be modified or mutable, which means the elements can be replaced. You can modify the elements that you declared in the list. Okay, you can modify the elements. So it is mutable. Every element rests at some position in the list, which means this list is similar to strings because all the elements in list having index positions, okay, index values. The index values always starts from 0 and negative index values always start from -1 from the last character. Okay, you already learned about index values in strings and string manipulation chapter. Okay, so now let's see how to create a list in Python. Okay, so this is the syntax of creating list. First you have to write the variable name, and next you have to add the elements, element 1, element 2, element 3, element n. Write these elements within the square brackets. Here you have to remember one thing, that is the elements of list should be specified within square brackets. Okay, next see this example. Marks is equal to 10, 13, 14, 75, and next fruits is equal to apple, orange, mango, banana, and next my list is equal to square brackets. See here, these are integer type values, these are string type values, this is empty list. Here same type of values is given in a list, but we can give multiple type of elements in a list. See here, my list is equal to welcome, this is a string, and next 3.14, this is a fractional value, which means floating point value. Next this is 10 integer value, and next 2, 4, 6. Here we added another one list with this list. Okay, so it is called as nested list. What do you mean by nested list? Nested list is a list containing another list as an element. Okay, 2, 4, 6 is another one list. Here we added that list as an element of my list. Okay, and next accessing list elements. How will you access the list elements? Let us see that. Okay, we can access the list elements by using index values. We already know that index values always starts from 0 and negative index values always starts from -1 from the last character. Okay, see this example. Marks is equal to 10, 23, 41, 75. Here each element having its own index value. Okay, so first element is stored in 0th index position, next element is stored in first index position, third element is stored in second index position, and fourth element is stored in third index position. This is positive index values, but in negative index values it always starts from last character. Okay, so first write -1 and next -2, next -3, next -4. Okay, so positive index value starts from forward direction and negative index value starts from backward direction from the end of the list. Okay, in the reverse order. So see this index to access element from a list. Okay, so this is this index. First you have to write the list variable name and write the list elements. If you want to access any one element from that list, write here print list name, write the list name, and next write the index of that element, okay, within the square brackets. See this example, marks is equal to 10, 23, 41, 75. Here if you want to access the element 10, you have to write print, next write marks within the parenthesis and write the index value within square brackets. If you want to access the element 10, the 10 element is stored in which index position? 0. So you have to specify here 0. Okay. So this 10 will be printed on the output screen. And see next example. Here you have to access the element in the reverse order. Okay. So here if you want to access the element 75, print marks. Here you have to specify -1 because here you have to access the element 75 in reverse order. Okay. So the 75 will be displayed on the output screen. And next, accessing all elements of a list. How will you access all elements in a list? To access all elements in a list, we have to use loops. Okay. The initial value of loop must be 0. 0 is the beginning index value of a list. We all know that. Okay. So this is the example program. First one list is given, that is mark is equal to 10, 23, 41, 75. And the next initial value is given, that is I is equal to 0. I is a variable, 0 is the initial value of I. Okay. And the next while loop is given, while I is less than 4. This is the condition. Okay. And if that condition is true, then print marks of I. Okay. And next update the value of I. So first you have to check the condition. We know that I is equal to 0. What is the initial value of I? 0. So check the condition. 0 is less than 4. True. This condition is true. So you have to print marks 0. Okay. I means what? 0. So which element is stored at 0's position? 10. So 10 will be printed on the output screen. Next, I is equal to I plus 1. So update the value of I. So I becomes 1. And next, check the condition. I is less than 4. So 1 is less than 4. 1 is less than 4. So this condition is true. So you have to print marks 1. Okay. What is the value of index position 1? 23. So 23 will be printed on the output screen. And next again update the value of I. So this I becomes 2. Next again check the condition. 2 is less than 4. This condition is true. So print marks 2. Which element is stored to the index position 2? 41. So 41 will be printed on the output screen. And next again update the value. So I becomes 3. So 3 is less than 4. This condition also true. So print marks 3. So which element is stored at index position 3? 75. So 75 will be displayed on the output screen. And next again update the value. I is equal to I plus 1. So I becomes 4. Again check the condition. 4 is less than 4. No, 4 is not less than 4. So this condition is false. Here you have to exit the loop. Okay. So see the same program with the reverse indexing. Okay. Let us see the program in the reverse order. Okay. How will you access the elements in the reverse order? You have to start from the last character in a list, and index value of last character is -1, and next -2, next -3. Here initial value of I is what? -1. So check the condition. I is greater than or equal to -4. This is the condition. And next, if that condition is true, then print the marks. And next again update the variable. I is equal to I plus -1 means what? I is equal to I minus 1. Okay. So first check the condition. -1 is greater than or equal to -4. -1 is greater than -4. So this condition is true. So you have to print marks I. Which element is stored in the index position? I. That is -1. 75. So 75 will be displayed on the output screen. Next, update the value I is equal to I minus 1. So I value is what? Minus 1. So minus 1 minus 1 minus 2. So this I becomes minus 2. Okay. Again check the condition. Minus 2 is greater than or equal to minus 4. Minus 2 is greater than minus 4. So this condition also true. So you have to print the marks of minus 2. What is the value? 41 will be printed on the output screen. Okay. Next, again update the value. So I is equal to I minus 1. I value is what? Minus 2. Minus 2 minus 1. So minus 2 minus 1 means what? Minus 3. So this I becomes minus 3. Again check the condition. Minus 3 is greater than or equal to minus 4. Minus 3 is greater than minus 4. So this condition also true. So print marks of minus 3. What is the value? 23. 23 will be printed on the output screen. And next, again update the value. So minus 3 minus 1. So minus 3 minus 1 means minus 4. Minus 4 is greater than or equal to minus 4. Minus 4 is equal to minus 4. So this condition also true. So print marks of minus 4, that is 10. 10 will be printed on the output screen. And next again update the value. So minus 4 minus 1. Minus 4 minus 1 means minus 5. Minus 5 is greater than or equal to minus 4. Check the condition. Here this condition becomes false. So here you have to terminate the loop. Okay. So this is the output. And next, let us see how to calculate the length of a list. Okay. Here the length function is used to find the length of a list. Length means what? Number of elements in a list. Okay. Usually the length function is used to set the upper limit in a loop to read all the elements of a list. If a list contains another list as an element, the length function returns the inner list as a single element. Okay. So the inner list is treated as a single element. Okay. So see this example. My subject is equal to Tamil, English, Computer Science, Maths. So next we are going to calculate the length of the my subject list. Okay. So here you have to write LEN. Within the parenthesis write my subject variable name. Okay. So see here how many elements are there in a list? Tamil, English, Computer Science, Maths. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 elements. So 4 will be printed on the output screen. So let us see one program to display elements in a list using loop. Okay. Here we are using loop to display the elements in a list. My subject is equal to Tamil, English, Computer Science, Maths. Here initial value is, we know that 0, and next condition is given while loop is used here. I is length of my subject. What is the length of my subject? 4. Okay. Tamil, English, Computer Science, Maths. 4 subjects are there. So length of my subject is 4. So next, if that condition is true, print my subject of I, the index position. Okay. I means what? The index position. Next, update the value. I is equal to I plus 1. So check the condition. I is less than 4. Length of my subject is what? 4. Okay. So I is less than 4. I value is what? 0. 0 is less than 4. 0 is less than 4. This condition is true. So you have to print my subject of I. I means 0. Which element is stored in the index position? I, Tamil. So Tamil will be printed on the output screen. And next again update the value. So I becomes 1. Next again check the condition. 1 is less than 4. This condition also true. Print my subject I. Which element is stored in the index position? 1. That is English. So English will be printed on the output screen. Next again update the value. So I becomes 2. Again check the condition. 2 is less than 4. This is also true. So print my subject 2. Which element is stored in the index position? 2. Computer Science. Computer Science will be printed on the output screen. And next again update the value. So this I becomes 3. 3 is less than 4. This condition also true. So print my subject value, that is Maths, in the output screen. And again update the value. So this I becomes 4. 4 is less than 4. No, this condition is false. Here you have to exit the loop. Okay. So this is the output. So now let us see how to access elements using for loop. In Python, the for loop is used to access all elements in a list one by one. For that, here we are using for keyword. Okay. So this is the syntax of accessing elements using for loop. First write the for keyword and next write the index variable, which means index value of each element in the list. Okay. And next write in list and next print the index variable of the list. Okay. See this example. Here 5 elements are given. Marks is equal to 23, 45, 67, 78, 98. And next for x in marks. Okay. Here list name is marks and take the first index position, that is 0 for x. Here the last index value is what? 4. So 4 is the last index value. Okay. So check the last index value is reached or not. We have not reached last value till now. Okay. So this condition is true. Print x. Okay. X value is what? Index position 0. So 23 will be printed on the output screen. And next take the next value, that is index position 1. Check the last value is reached or not. No. Last value is what? 4. We have not reached till now. Okay. So again print x 45 and again print 67, 78 and last 4. Last value is what? 4. So we reached the last value. So print x 98 and next index value is what? 5. 5 is not there. So the loop will be terminated. Okay. So this is the output. So next let us see how to change the list elements. Okay. In Python, list are mutable, which means we can change the elements in a list. A list elements can be changed or altered using symbol assignment operator. Okay. Using this equal to operator, we can change the elements in a list. Okay. See this index list variable. Here you have to write the list variable and next write the index of an element. Which element you want to change? Write the index position of that element. Okay. Here you have to specify new value to be changed. If you want to change a particular element, you can use this syntax. But if you want to change multiple elements, you have to use this syntax. Okay. Write the list variable and index from index to right here. Here index from means beginning index of the range and index 2 means upper limit of range. Okay. Which means if you set 0 as beginning index and 5 is the ending index, you have to specify 0 colon 5. Okay. You have to specify 0 colon 5, but you have to take only 0 to 4. Okay. If you want to update the range of elements from 1 to 4, you have to specify it as 1 to 5. Okay. See this example, Python program to update or change a single value. If you want to change a single element in a list, how will you change? Let us see that. Okay. This is a list, my list 2, 4, 5, 8, 10. Next print statement, my list elements before update. Okay. This is print statement. Next for loop for x in my list. Print x. Okay. So see next line, my list 2. So my list is a variable name and 2 is the index value. Okay. Next equal to and write the new element value, which means which element you want to add. So specify that value here. Okay. And next print my list elements after updation and next for loop for y in my list print y. So here first my list elements before update 2, 4, 5, 8, 10. See here which element is stored at the index position 2, 5. Okay. You want to change this 5 by 6. Okay. So see my list elements after updation 2, 4, 6. You can see here the value 5 is changed as 6. Okay. So this is the output. See the next program. In this program we are going to update or change the range of values. Okay, not a single value, we are going to change the range of values, which means multiple values. Okay, here my list is equal to 1 3 5 7 9. Print list odd numbers, and for x in my list print x. Here you want to change all the elements in a list. Okay, so here you have to specify range function. Okay, so range is first element is what? 0, last element is 4, but you have to specify 0 to 5. Okay, so here write the beginning index and ending index 0 to 5. Okay, 0 colon 5. Write the new values. Okay, 2 4 6 8 10. So these are even numbers, and print list even numbers. Next, for y in my list print y. So first write the elements list of odd numbers 1 3 5 7 9. After changing you will get the output like this: list of even numbers 2 4 6 8 10. Okay, in a list you can easily change the values like this. Okay, so this is the output. And next, adding more elements in a list. How will you add more elements in a list? Let us see that. Okay, if you want to add a single element, you can use append function. Okay, but if you want to add more than one element, which means multiple elements, you can use extend function. Okay, so if you want to add single element in a list, you can use append function. If you want to add multiple elements in a list, you can use extend function. Okay, see this index of append and extend functions. List append element to be added and list extend elements to be added. Here you can add multiple elements, so elements to be added. In extend function, multiple elements should be specified within square brackets as arguments of the function. Okay, see this example, my list 34 45 48. If you want to add a single element, you can use append function. Okay, if you want to add 9d, you can use this append function. Here write my list dot append 9d. Okay, so when you print this my list, the output will be printed on the screen like this. Okay, 34 45 48 and 9d. And see the example for extend function. My list extend 71 32 29. Here we used square brackets within the parenthesis. Okay, next, if you print my list, the elements will be displayed on the output screen like this. Okay, see here 71 32 29 elements are added. So next, let us see how to insert elements in a list. We know that we can insert the elements using append and extend functions, but you can insert the elements by using append and extend functions at the end of your list. But if you want to include an element at your desired position, you can use insert function. The insert function is used to insert an element at any position of the list. So if you want to add elements at the end of the list, you can use append function and extend functions. But if you want to add the element at your desired position, you can use insert function. Okay, see this index of insert function: list insert position index element. Okay, here you have to specify the position also. See this example. Here on list is given 34 98 47 Kannan, Gauri Shankar, Lenin, Srinivasan. Print my list. So it will be printed on the output screen. If you want to insert a new name Ramakrishnan at the index position 3, you have to write like this: my list insert 3 index position and write the name Ramakrishnan. And now print the my list. The list will be printed on the output screen with the name Ramakrishnan. Okay, see here, this insert function inserts new element Ramakrishnan at the index value 3, which means fourth position. Okay, so the existing element Kannan shifts one position to the right. Okay, so this is the output. Next, let us see how to delete elements from a list. There are two ways to delete an element from a list, using del statement and using remove function. Okay, so there are two ways are used to delete an element from a list. What are they? First way is using del statement and second way is using remove function. Del statement is used to delete known elements and it is also used to delete the entire list, whereas remove function is used to delete the elements of a list if its index is unknown. Okay, which means if you know the index value of that element, you can use del statement to delete the elements from a list. But if you don't know the index value of that element, you can use remove function to delete that element. Okay, so let's see this index. Del list, write the index of that element. Okay, it is used to delete a particular element. If you want to delete multiple elements, you have to write del list beginning index value and ending index value. Okay, index from to index 2. And if you want to delete entire list, write del list. Okay, see this example. My subjects, this is a list. Tamil, Hindi, Telugu, Maths elements are stored in the list. Print my subjects. So these subjects will be printed on the output screen. Now you want to delete the element which is stored in the index value 1. Okay, this is 0 index value, this is 1. So Hindi is stored in the index value 1. So when you print my subjects, the element Hindi will not be printed on the output screen. See here, Tamil, Telugu, Maths only printed on the output screen. Hindi is not here. But if you want to delete multiple elements, suppose if you want to delete the elements from 1 to 3 index positions, you have to write like this. Del my subjects within square brackets, write 1:3. Okay, here 1:3 is given, but you have to print 1 index value and 2 index value. Okay, not take 3. Okay, you have to take only 2 elements, that is 1 and 2. So for this code you will get the output Tamil. See here, this is 0th index position, this is 1, this is 2. Here you have to leave these 2 elements. Okay, Telugu, Maths. So Tamil will be printed on the output screen. And next, let's see another one example. If you want to delete the entire list, you have to use del and my list name. Okay, my subjects. Print my subjects, you will get the error message because the entire list is completely deleted. So it will shows the error message. Okay, so next is the remove function. If you do not know the index value of that element, then you can use remove function to delete that element. Okay, here you have to delete the element by using element name. Okay, not index value, by using name. This is this index list remove element. Okay, here you have to specify the element name. Let's see one example. Here one list is created with the elements 12, 89, 34, Kannan, Gaurishankar, Lenin. If you are printing this list, it will be printed on the output screen. So if you want to remove 89, the element 89 from this list, you have to write like this. My list remove 89. So 89 is removed from this list. Again print my list. See here, 89 will not be printed on the output screen. Remaining elements are printed. You can see here, this is the output. Here another one function is also used to remove the elements, that is pop function. This pop function is used to delete the element using the given index value. Okay, if you know the index value, you can use pop function to delete the element. This pop function deletes and returns the last element of a list if the index is not given. If the index value is not given, this pop function deletes and returns the last element of a list. Okay. So what is use of del statement? If you know the index value of the element, you can use del statement to delete the element. Okay. Similarly, if you know the index value of the element, you can use pop function to delete the element in a list. But what is the difference between del statement and pop function? Pop function is used to delete only one element from a list, but del statement is used to delete multiple elements in the list. Pop function shows the element which is deleted, which means pop function shows the deleted element. Okay, but the del statement not shows the deleted element. Okay, this is the difference between pop function and del statement. Let's see this index of pop function. List pop index of an element. Here you have to write the index value of that element. Okay, let's see one example. This is a list. Here you have to delete the element which is stored in the index position 1. Which element is stored in the index position 1? This is 34. Okay, so it will be deleted from the list, and this pop function shows the element which is deleted. See here, this element is deleted. It shows like this. Okay, next let us see about clear function. What is the use of clear function? The clear function is used to delete all the elements in a list. It deletes only the elements and retain the list, which means all the elements will be deleted, but the square bracket only will be displayed on the screen. Okay, let's see this index of clear function. List, clear and parenthesis. Okay, let's see one example. This is a list. Here if you want to clear all the elements from the list, write here my list clear. When you print this my list again, it will be displayed like this. Okay, all the elements will be deleted, but an empty square bracket is displayed without any elements, which means this list is empty. Okay, so this is about clear function. We will see the continuation of list in the next video. I hope you understand. Thank you, students.